Good afternoon, everybody. It is Sunday night, January the 3rd, 2021. It's 8:02 in Walhalla, South Carolina. And thank you for being a part of tonight's episode of Unmasking the Truth. And for the first time, I can say to everyone, Happy New Year. I hope you had a good one. All of us are glad to put 2020 behind us and to see what 2021 has in store. And I'm going to touch on that in just a few minutes. But we're starting off another week. Man, what a great week we had last week with Wrestling with Anything But. Numbers that went through the roof. Last night on the Green Room, according to Avi, I think close to 700, maybe over 700 comments. So each and every one of you out there should give yourself the old Barry Horowitz pat on the back. JC, good to see you, for a job well done, because these numbers, these types of comments happen for one reason and one reason only, or more than one reason. It's you folks. All of you are what make this happen. Otherwise, it's just me and Avi. I set up my laptop and he sets his up and we talk to each other. But you folks make all this happen, and we appreciate you for everything you did in 2020 and everything that's going to happen in 2021. Bebop, good to see you. Thank you for being here. And we look forward to what lays in store, what lies ahead for us. And got a lot of great things. Mindy, good to see you as well. And I'll tell you about my experience. Many of you saw it Friday night. Shannon, good to see you. Oh, yeah, make sure we do this. Folks, you are doing a fabulous job of sharing. Continue to do that. I think most of these shares come off Avi's page. No matter where they come from, they're there. Over 30 groups that are also doing the same as well. Those of you that are watching it on my page, share it, please. Help us out. We need you to share it, share it, share it, share it. But I had a good time. Stuart, good to see you. I was able to go up and visit Mr. Holiday, New Year's Day, January the 1st. He'd been in South Carolina for a week, maybe a little longer, visiting his parents, his brother-in-law, his sister, his niece, nephew, and David had his son with him. And he reached out to me earlier in the week and invited me to come up and watch the Clemson-Ohio State game with his family. Now, everybody in his family, with the exception of his brother-in-law, is a Gamecock or is a Clemson fan. His brother-in-law and I were the only Gamecock fans in the household. I had my granddaughter for the weekend, and so I decided to go up a little earlier Friday and watch the Alabama-Notre Dame game with them. Now, as we know, the outcome of the Clemson-Ohio State game was one that most of us did not expect. So in hindsight, I wish I would have hung around with the Holiday clan and watched the Clemson-Ohio State game. And there's David right there. So we made history in WWAB for the first time in WWAB history, our short history of about 6 months. Two of us that are really a part of a podcast were able to be together in the same room, stand shoulder to shoulder, and do that. And we had a good time doing it. We thank Avi for helping us put that together. It took the three brilliant minds of Avi, David, and Dell to bring that off. And we had a great time doing it. A lot of fun. What a wonderful family David's got. Sweet little boy of his, and mother and dad, good people, brother-in-law, sister, just good Christian people. Beautiful, beautiful home that they just built there. Right outside of Greer, South Carolina, and we had a great time. And I heard the Green Room was great last night. I'm one that struggles to stay up late. Every now and then I can make it past 11 and maybe pop in on the Green Room, but I wasn't able to do that last night. But I always go back and watch it, so I'll be watching the Green Room tomorrow. But again, we thank all of you for being here, being a part of this. Man, you folks, you're just a wonderful family that we've been able to bring together and come together. We thank you for everything you do, and remember to share. Now, I want to bring this up to you and talk about this. I'm not a pessimistic person. I try to have a good outlook on everything. And I listen to Rush a lot, Rush Limbaugh. I've been listening to him since 1988. And Rush says he deals in reality. He calls himself the mayor of Reelsville. And I think reality is a good place to be and deal with. And I know we're all happy that 2020 is behind us, that 2021 is here. 2020 was the most difficult year in my lifetime, and I think we can probably all say that. Individuals that we lost getting sick with COVID, many of us experienced that. Many didn't survive it. just things that were going on in the country. We saw a lot of things, a lot of unrest, a lot of uneasiness. We've seen a lot of corruption, a lot of disappointment. But I ask you this, just think about it. Is all that going to change just because we're now in 2021? Just because we're just a few days removed from 2020? Is everything going to become hunky-dory and good and bright sunshine? I don't know. Think about that. We know that with this incoming administration, they've all but promised us massive lockdowns. They've all but promised us a national mask mandate. So we could have really tougher times ahead of us. That's a possibility. It could get tougher before it actually gets better. Now, we all hope and pray that that's not the case. But folks, that is reality, that it could get a lot tougher before it gets better. We don't know what lays in store for us. We don't know what the future holds. So just thought that would be something to think about. And speaking of the future and just a possibility of what could happen, I was doing some reading this past week, and many of you may be aware of the Human Rights Campaign. Harmless, the Human Rights Campaign. Sounds like something we could all get behind and support, until I got to dig in a little deeper and found out just exactly what the Human Rights Campaign is. Now, I'm an old guy. I've been hitting the head a lot. My memory's not what it used to be. So I take notes and I write a lot of things down. And Stuart, I think you're exactly right. I agree with that comment. So I have to write things down lest I forget them, and I want to share them with you. But the Human Rights Campaign is the largest LGBTQ group in America that fights for everything LGBTQ. It's basically a group that's very powerful. It's a network that's very big. It's very far-reaching. It wields a lot of power. And right now, they're really putting the pressure on Joe Biden for the accreditation of Christian schools to be removed. And here's why. They have a blueprint for positive change. It's basically their plan of action, their game plan for everything going forward under the Biden-Harris administration. It affects our economy. It affects the workplace. It affects our everything, our school system. Every aspect of our society will be affected by this blueprint of positive change. Now, the education department ensures through the agencies that hand out accreditations to these private schools, these Christian schools, be it high school or colleges and universities. There are agencies that overlook the handing out of these accreditations. And it allows these schools to still practice their biblical beliefs and to enforce their mission statement, yet still have access to federal funding. This allows them to adhere to their biblical principles and philosophies that they live their life by, and to adhere to that when it comes to hiring, when it comes to staffing, when it comes to admissions, and when it comes to curriculum. They're able to do all that based on their faith, their beliefs. I want to read you this. This is the First Amendment of the United States of America. It's the first one. Therefore, it's considered the most important one. And I'll just read you the top half of it. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. The exercise thereof. Not only do we have the right to worship as we see fit, we have the right to express it and to exercise it. We don't have to go behind doors. We don't have to meet in some clandestine place somewhere and hide behind walls and doors. Not only do we have the right to believe it, to live our life by biblical principles, but we've also got the right to express it and to exercise it. When you hear the word exercise, you know what you think of. It's activity. So we have the right to exercise these biblical principles that we live our lives by. But evidently, the Human Rights Campaign is of the mindset that if you don't agree with their orthodoxy of sexuality, that you've got no place in public life. It's part of the council culture. If you teach anything that goes against their beliefs, then they're out to do away with you. You have no voice. You have no ability to do that. To send your kids to Christian schools, to go to Christian universities. There are several here in South Carolina, Bob Jones University, I think of, Pensacola Christian College, Tennessee Temple University. My dad went to Tennessee Temple. So just keep that in mind as we're thinking that maybe 2021 could get better. Just realize in actuality, it could get a lot worse. We hope that's not the case, but we're dealing with reality. Rush is the mayor of Reelsville, as he said. Now, having said all that, I want to bring in the maestro of wrestling with anything but Mr. Avi Klein. Avi, come on in.
I'm here. I think David Holiday unfortunately put a hex, guys. Dell, I see the whole camera thing. You're going to get that situated because you know what? Every time somebody spends a couple hours with Mr. Holiday, something usually goes wrong. But right now, we are celebrating Holiday. He's going to be anointed as the man in the green room eventually. Still, it might be that Clemson stink, Dell. That might have something to do with your camera right now. I know you're going to get that fixed. Not a problem. We could hear you. We can't see you yet. We're going to shout everybody out. And again, that is the Clemson hex. That's what happens when there's a Clemson hex. Things go wrong. I know there's a lot of Clemson Tiger fans out there, but you know what? We support our Gamecocks over here. And guys and gals, you know you can catch us 7 days a week, every single day, Monday through Monday. We don't take a day off. Not for Christmas. No. Not for Kwanzaa. No. Not for Hanukkah. No. Not for any other holiday. And you know what? The Gamecock power takes over. That Southern Clemson football hex cannot do a thing to Dell Wilkes. Not at all, Dell. Not at all.
Glad to be back. I luckily fumbled and stumbled my way through that. Anything I do with technology that works out right, it's accidentally. I can assure you that.
Well, you did spend some time with Clemson Tiger fans. Maybe that had something to do with it, perhaps?
Possibly. I wish I would have stayed longer with those Clemson fans. I would have loved to have been with them as they were getting the beatdown of a lifetime against Ohio State. And I hate really, and I was coming down the road and I was listening to the game, or once I got home, I started watching the game. And I thought, man, maybe I should get back in the car and drive back up to Greer, South Carolina and hang out with the Holidays as they go through the misery of seeing their Tigers get thumped.
Well, they say, doctors across the world say the greatest method of remaining healthy is smiling. That would have put a smile to your face. I know that wholeheartedly, and you guys put a smile on our faces. I want to let you know Dell is right. If you scroll down the green room, almost 600 comments, which was incredible off of just my page alone. You guys are making things happen. 400,000 plus views across 34 pages took place on Road to Recovery and Unmasking the Truth, just like the other shows that we have across the board, averaging over 200,000 live views. That's incredible. We started out with the proverbial donut back in July. Right now, we are averaging over 200,000. 6 months later, a few days shy of that, we owe all to you guys and gals because you are the engine that makes this thing go. And let's shout you out over here. Michael Rubin, hello. Will Cribb, good evening. Dell and Avi, blessings to all and happy New Year. Right back at you, Will Cribb. Eric John, same thing to you. Mindy, JC, Stewart. Got some questions. I'll ask that really soon when we get into football. We have Ken over here. Kelly Coleman, how are you? We've got Lucinda and Taekwon joining us as well. Stuart Stone, Can Gar, new viewer. Eddie, new viewer as well. Thank all the new viewers who are showing up. Bebop, thank you for that also. Guys and gals, in case you've been living under a rock, which I know you haven't, and thank you for that comment, JC Farina. The green room was fabulous. I can't say it enough. Then keep saying it. Keep saying it, man. Keep letting us know. Keep letting the masses know. You guys can scroll down and watch all of our older episodes. And guys and gals, what doesn't get old is reminding you that we are on 7-8, starting with a Monday, a preview and a review show, 5 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday, Double Dip, Part 1 of the Double Dip, Breaking the Ice, Glacial, Reload, Avi Klein, Eastern time, Part 2 of the Double Dip, Face Value, Build Them Out, Avi Klein, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday, every Wednesday, Maintaining the Truth, Paul Roman, Avi Klein, 7 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday, WWE Hall of Fame, and Morocco, Avi Klein for Making Waves, 5 p.m. Eastern time, noon Hawaiian time, on Friday, podcast for the purpose of Road to Recovery, Duke, the Dumpster, Mike Troyes, and Avi Klein, 6 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Central, on Saturday. It's not just a bunch of goopholes, it's a bunch of perps. Mickey Doyle, he's going to jail. We're going to find out Saturday night because the verdict's special. It's coming out. We know what it's going to be. Guilty, guilty, guilty. David Holliday's there as well. He's going to be innocent, innocent, innocent. Howard Colado, your day's coming as well. Avi Klein's also there. On Sundays, as you can tell right now, do you need a brand new prescription? I don't think so. Your eyes don't deceive you. It's Del Wilkes, the Patriot, and Avi Klein for a hard-hitting podcast every Sunday on Masking the Truth. Patriot, Del Wilkes, Avi Klein, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And guys and gals, I'll mellow. I'll calm down right now. It's a brand new year. Let's start things off right. What happens is when you decide to go to a live sporting event, and right now, you can, because we can rejoice and watch sports. That's what I was raised on. Good old-fashioned sports across the board. Hockey, sure. Basketball, why not? Football, oh yeah. We can watch it all right now. What happens when you decide to go to a Gamecock live a University of South Carolina Gamecock game, but you're wearing a Clemson Tiger shirt. Uh-oh, that might